All right, gamers, how we doing? Happy Monday. Welcome in. Hope you're all doing well. Um, we are not gonna need some stuff. What's up, Vi? How's it going? Um, 60 stream streak. Holy, huge. Are you guys ready to do something that isn't Elden Ring for like a couple days? 'Cause that's what we're doing. And I didn't set like any of this up ahead of time. So hopefully this works. It does. Can you guys hear this? It looks like you can. Um, so like I've played a little bit of the Stanley Parable before. Not a whole lot. I'm gonna go ahead and say no. It was also years and years and years ago until the computer is barely visible. I like my games a little bit brighter than default. I'm just gonna like go ahead and sit here and like not follow any of the rules. Enter the current time. It is 7:07 p.m. Oh goodness, do I have to like, yeah, I do. Interesting. Is it now 7:08? It is still 7:07. Word. Nice. Alright, so this is the Stanley Parable. Anyone who is not familiar with it, it's a very interesting game. I'm kind of going to let it speak for itself. Um, there is no challenge involved with this. We're just chilling out and vibing. If you are strictly here for challenge run stuff, like this week will probably not be for you. But next week we're going to buckle back in and do a crap ton of Elden Ring stuff for likely the rest of the year. So there's a ton of Elden Ring stuff coming up. Just wanted to take a brief pause now that the league is over for us. Do some not Elden Ring stuff. We've been grinding this pretty hard since like November. So it's been like almost 4 months of just Elden Ring straight. And we're gonna like we will legitimately be doing like Elden Ring for the rest of the year and probably a good portion of next year as well. We have a lot of really hard runs coming up. And I kind of just want to like go through and get them done versus like do one or two runs and then go play like Dark Souls 2 any percent and then come back to Elden Ring, get a couple more runs and then do Dark Souls 3. Like I think we're kind of gonna like sit down and do a bunch of Elden Ring stuff is the plan currently. So if that's what you're here for, do not fear. It's not gone. We're just taking a quick break and we will be returning before you know it. I don't even know if it's gonna be like all this week. Like by the time Friday rolls around, I might be like, yo, I want to play Elden Ring again. But at the moment, I have no desire, and it feels nice. But I'm sure that does not last on account of it has literally never lasted in the past. So we're gonna go ahead. We're gonna get started. I'm gonna go ahead and guess that this is probably gonna be too loud. If this is too quiet, you guys go ahead and let me know and we can turn it back up. I think I would rather it be a bit quiet to start off rather than like way too loud. Yeah, here we go.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
And so begins the Stanley Parable. Whoa. This can come like way down, and that can go way out. Much better. Alright. Wow, we're moving.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
Speed.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Oh, that's so weird. You can use the right mouse button to move forward. I was trying to see if I had like a zoom in. I was gonna try and read some of these documents, but right click is walk forward. Very interesting design. Nice.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
The door on the left. So I think the first time you play through, it is good to follow the narrator.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a
And
wave
then
of disbelief,
kinda branch
Stanley
out.
decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
How do I get that job? How do I become the whiteboard manager? That's probably not a bad job. My handwriting kind of sucks though. I probably wouldn't even get the job. Termination Tuesdays! That's crazy. We're broke Wednesday. Ranking floor 5 meeting, that's what's up. That's the good stuff right there. Legal, excellent. No. Pre-review of, is that weekly review? I think it is. Pre-review of weekly review. I'm not even sure what that says, that squiggled out part. That is not cost efficient. Stand something graphs 4x wide, 40x wide. New coffee machine. The future was yesterday, tomorrow is now. Oh, standardize. Yeah, you're right. Get Chris out of the broom closet. Interesting. Synergize papers. Actually, hire someone to synergize papers. Papers are too synergized. Fire paper guy. Hire somebody to fire the paper synergizing guy. This is a crazy whiteboard, bro. We need more squiggled out, less reviews. .402 and 405 want to get rid of the death sport portion in the primary review schedule. But I think that's a stupid idea. Oh my goodness. More water coolers and water cooler heaters. This game is excellent. Charts need to be more hip to appeal to a teenage demographic. Find teenagers to put in teenage demographic. Big net? Some sort of child trap? Oh, man. A lot of percent. This is my kind of graph right here. It's a good pie chart. Number of slides on this slide. Charts, charts and slides. Rate at which charts on the same slide depict the same information. Dude, this game is so good. Monetize free to play. Oh my god. Too real. Wait, is Chris in here?
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here,
No.
so he turned around and got back on track.
Alright.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Executive bathroom. Interesting. Interesting. Extreme bathrooms.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again
This is a
stunned to
crazy
discover
office
not
with
an
a
indication of
fireplace.
any
What the
human
heck?
life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held
Play
from
the
him?
piano?
What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this. Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing.
Oh.
He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
Good.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
Always question the nature of your job, people. Very important stuff.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Alright, well. Surely escape would be bad.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out? Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
Oh, what's going on with 234? That one's like all messed up.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life
is quite a trip.
In someone else's control.
It's quite a trip. I figured it'd be a good game to
It was unthinkable.
chill out.
Wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
Score?
Blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over? Yes. He had won. He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved.
Yo, what's up, Kyle?
Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed
Variety
from the
arc.
machine's grasp?
Yeah, I think it's
What
just going to
other
be for this
mysteries
week.
did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the
doing
chamber,
Elden Ring
he
since like
realized
November.
none of this mattered to
Now
him.
that the Hitless
For it
League
was
is
not
done for us,
knowledge or even power
I was like, you
that
know what,
he
let's
had
take a
been
quick
seeking,
break before
but
we
happiness. Perhaps his
buckle
goal
down
had not
and
been
do
to understand,
Elden Ring for like
but
the
to
rest
let
of the year.
go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go.
Hope you're doing well though, dude.
what
You're
to
working on
do,
Silksong right now,
or
right?
how to
How's that
feel.
going?
Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door. Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility
Where
of the
the
new
heck does
path
this guy even
before
work?
him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen.
PB2, huge, dude.
And
GG's.
Stanley
Life do
was
be
happy.
lifing, but you know, as long as you can keep doing the stuff you enjoy, I think that's the main thing, right? Surely we enjoy these challenge runs, right? All right. So now
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
we can
Stanley
go
decided
off
to
the
go to the
beaten
meeting
path.
room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
There's some
When
level,
Stanley
yeah.
came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the
Alright,
door.
so
This was not
let's
the
take
correct way
the
to the
right.
meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Let's go and admire the
Yes,
employee
truly
lounge.
a
Very
room worth
nice.
admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to
look
spend
at
a few
that.
moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in.
Drinking it all in. Very nice. Very nice.
Yes, really, really worth it being here in the room.
Yes.
A room so
this is
utterly
good stuff.
captivating that even though all your co-workers have mysteriously vanished, here you sit looking at these chairs and some paintings.
I mean,
Really
look at
worth
that
it.
ocean, dude. Look at that. That's so nice. I have a very stressful job. I don't know if you know this. I have to press keys for
At this
exact
point,
milliseconds.
Stanley's obsession with this room bordered on creepy and
creepy.
reflected poorly on his overall personality. It's possible that this is why everyone left.
Imagine. People are like, dude, Stanley's an art enjoyer. We should probably all leave and abandon this
Stanley
company.
sat around waiting for more dialogue. But when a long time had passed and there was no more, he decided that the game was trying to send him a message.
Number 1 dad. Let's go. Alright, you guys think we can bait another dialogue out of him or nah? I bet there's another one. Fuel. I hate glasses. I can't read that like at all. Alright, I guess we'll move on.
But at last, he'd had enough of the amazing room and took the
Amazing
first open door on his left to get back to business.
So, like, we could go mostly back to where we were before, because there was that, like, that one
And so he
avenue that was
detoured through
labeled
the maintenance section, walked straight
as
ahead to the
escape.
opposite door, and
Oh,
got
but also
back on
what's this?
track.
Alright, let's take, like, the escape route first.
Yet
And
there
then
was
we
not
can
a
take that
single
funky
person here
elevator next
either.
time.
Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Hoping coming to a
downstairs,
staircase,
too.
Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's
There's much
office.
to do, guys. There is much to do. What was it? 8245?
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. What could it mean? Stanley wondered aloud to nobody. He began wildly tearing through papers on the boss's desk, pulling books off the shelf, looking behind paintings, desperate for clues to his situation. But his attention was caught by a keypad behind the boss's desk. What could its
does have some
purpose
nice paintings.
be? In fact, this keypad guarded the terrible secret that lay buried below his feet. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly. Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the
That
keypad,
was close.
Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the
Tucked in,
newly
let's
opened
go.
passageway.
Alright, so this time, let's go for the escape passage.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
I don't know that
Although
I've
this
ever done
passageway
this.
had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death.
Oh, good lord. My violent death, you say?
The door behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track. At this point, Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death.
Correct. Yep. Was that actually it?
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley was inched closer and closer to his demise, he reflected that his life had been of no consequence whatsoever. Stanley can't see the bigger picture. He doesn't know the real story, trapped forever in his narrow vision of what this world is. Perhaps his death was of no great loss, like plucking the eyeballs from a blind man. And so he resigned and willingly accepted this violent end to his brief and shallow life. Farewell, Stanley.
Well, this was maybe not... Oh.
"Farewell, Stanley," cried the narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly.
Oh. Plot twist.
And yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever. What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish? When every path you can walk has been created for you long in advance, death becomes meaningless, making life the same. Do you see now?
Oh.
Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit
Nature
start?
paintings. Oh, this is cool. So, funnily enough, this seems like something that we, like, realistically probably should have done, like, much later, but I am not all that familiar with this game. A keyboard stroke and a synthesized tone. Very nice. Hi, Hunter. How you doing, bud? Some filing cabinets. Huge. Yo, they got solitaire? Oh, I turned it off. While it was updating, even. We got the credits. See, this is a nice way to do credits. Not have to, like, sit through, like, this entire thing. I think if I did, like, some kind of game that was at all similar to this, at the end I would just have, like, another little walking section that you could walk through. That just had, like, the names of, like, the developers and stuff on the wall. I think that's really cool. Hey, that's the lounge. The employee lounge. It's so nice in there. That's a lot of dollars. That is actually very, very funny. Imagine if the Stanley Parable had ended up being a shooter game. Alien base. Awesome. Let's go. What? I'm very confused by this. The office supplies, the phone and the sharpener, all you really need. More pictures of the lounge because it's just so nice. There's Stanley's emails? The apartment ending? I am not familiar. Oh, this is cool. I very much wish I had done this like later so I could recognize like more of this stuff. Cut and merged with another part of the game. The countdown ending. The freedom ending. That must have been the first one, right? Had to have been. In the game's alpha, goodness. Oh, a boss's office. The lounge. Well, that's pretty similar to what like we actually have in game now.
See how it's impossible for the player to do anything in this room? Perfect example of poor level design, textbook mistake. It's the kind of thing you'd pick up on intuitively if you had even the most fundamental understanding of good and bad game design. But of course, you being you, you'll probably spend the next hour trying to solve it. Here, I'm just going to make this easy on you. At the top of the facility to end this injustice. Stanley stood on the roof.
Interesting. I don't know if we can actually leave or if we just like actually have to like reset the game ourselves in order to do more things, because it seems like we've done everything. So I think we're just gonna begin the game again.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well.
Yo, what's up,
he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first,
now
just
we're
to
doing
admire
something a little different.
Wow, yes,
Just taking
this room.
Quick week
But
off.
eager to get back to business, Stanley
Get
took the
ourselves
first open door on his left.
Refreshed. You forgot.
And
That
so he
happens.
detoured through the maintenance section,
Alright, so
walked
what is
straight ahead
this?
to the opposite door, and got back on track.
I'm a fraud. You're good. Bye. First is
But
not
Stanley
required.
didn't want to go back to the office. He wanted to wander about and get even further off track. So now in order to get back, he needed to go, from here it's, left. Oh, no, it's to the right, my mistake.
Oh, you jerk.
No, not the right. Why would I have ever
This is
said
me
it was to the
giving
right?
directions to
What
people,
was I
honestly.
thinking? It's clearly... Oh dear, would you hold on for a minute, please? Now, let's see. We went down right, left, down, left, right. Yep, okay, yes. I've got it now. This story is absolutely, definitely this way.
Straight. Interesting. Yeah, we're gonna have to find out what we want to do.
No. This isn't right at all.
Wednesday
You're not
as
supposed
well.
to be here yet.
I've
This
not
is all a
decided
spoiler.
yet.
Quick, Stanley, close your eyes. Okay. We just have to get back to, oh, who am I kidding?
Is that Clippy?
It's all rubbish now. The whole story completely unusable.
That totally is.
How about, rather than waste my time trying to salvage this nonsense, we'll just restart the game from the beginning. And this time, suppose we don't wander so far off track, Okay, from the top.
Excellent.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided
Dude,
to
this
go to the
game is so
meeting
good.
room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Get it together.
When Stanley... Wait.
Oh,
Wait,
hold up.
what? No, I restarted. I swear, I definitely restarted the game over, completely fresh. Everything should be... Oh, did something change? Stanley, did you change anything when we were back in that room with all the monitors? Did you move the story somewhere, or...
Did you move
Hold
the
on.
story?
Why am I asking you? I'm the one who wrote the story. It was right here just a minute ago. I know for sure that it's here somewhere. Okay, then. It's an adventure. Come, Stanley. Let's find the story.
Oh goodness. Okay. What door do you guys want? Let's say from left to right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1 through 5. What are we thinking? 3? That's a good choice. 3 is a good choice. Do some 3 action. I wonder if that matters. I wonder if there's actually like 5 different endings there, or if
I'll
this is
say
like
it.
all the
This
same.
is the worst adventure I've ever been on. I can promise you there definitely was a story here before. Do we need to restart the game again? Well, I find it unlikely that we'll ever progress by starting over and over again, but it's got to be better than this. Okay, let's give it a shot. Why not?
Oh, no, it's probably just that no matter what. Okay.
All of his
Fair enough.
co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
No, there's no doors.
Okay, yep, it's worse. I might be remembering this wrong. It's possible the story is back where we just came from. Why don't we go back the other direction and see if we missed anything?
Go back. Sir, I can't even like interact with any of these doors.
Aha! I knew we'd miss something.
What the heck is
The
this?
story. Here it comes. No, wait, never mind. Not the story. Okay, let's head back the other way and retrace our steps. Now this...
Okay.
Well, I'll be honest, I don't recognize this place at all. Is this the story? I don't think so. I can't quite recall, but I believe my story took place in an office building. Is that correct?
I feel like you should know.
Do you remember, Stanley? Well, do you know what? Since I've completely forgotten what we were supposed to be doing, how about this? You win!
We won!
Congratulations!
We won the game! We got the
I know
run,
you put in a
guys!
lot
Let's
of hard
go!
work, and it really paid off, so good job. Oh, no. No, I don't feel right about this at all. We both know you didn't put in any actual work for that win. Some people win fair and square, and this was not one of those situations. Okay, I'm getting weirded out by whatever this place is. I don't care what might happen this time. I have to restart. All right, I've got a solution.
This is
This
crazy.
time, to make sure we don't get lost, I've employed the help of the Stanley Parable Adventure Line. Just follow the line. How simple is that?
The line TM even. Crazy. Oh, this is different. Okay, but like I have to know, right? So what if we ignore the line? Exactly, Zorb, exactly.
No, I'm down. We're leaving it up to the line from now on.
Oh. This doesn't do anything. This is just a dead end now. Sometimes if you linger, he has more to say. That seemed pretty final. Yeah, okay. I mean, like, we could sit for a minute, you know? We could. This is, after all, exactly what this game is about. There could be some secret thing that happens if you sit in this room for like 10 minutes. And how would we ever know if we didn't sit here for 10 minutes, right? So, don't do that. Yeah, I've got to imagine if there was something here, he probably would have said something by now. Look at this plant, though. How nice is this plant? It's very nice. That's a nice plant. Why you guys think it's like so bright outside? That's kind of nuts. Alright. We're following the line. Mr. Unreliable.
The line knows where the story is.
Over here.
It's over in this direction. Onward, Stanley, to destiny. The
Tree simulator?
Wouldn't wherever we end up be our destination, even if there's no story
I didn't
there?
even know that was
or
a
to put
game.
it another way, is the story of no destination still a story? Simply by the act of moving forward, are we implying
You
a
get to
journey
be a
such that a
tree. Oh my
destination is
goodness.
inevitably conjured into being via the very manifestation of the nature of life itself? Whoa. Hang on. That got a bit weird back there. Well, I'd like to apologize. Not sure where I was going with all that.
Some question marks.
You know what?
Yeah,
think
this
what we
game
need
actually
right
has an
now
achievement
is a
like
bit of
that where
music
you
to lighten the mood.
stay logged in for an entire Tuesday. Oh, good God. It's multiplayer, of course. Wow, that's, like, honestly such an amazing cash grab. I'm not gonna lie. We're on an adventure now, guys. Of course, yeah. That's so loud. Yeah.
Cut the music. Go
Oh.
back and look at that fern.
What?
Stanley, this fern will be very important later in the story. Make sure you study it closely and remember it carefully.
What?
You won't want to miss anything.
That's gotta be a joke. There's no way. This fern? This thing right here. This is gonna be What? Yeah, surely I have that memorized.
Wait, what? We're back at the office? No, no.
Studying
Line,
it
you
now
do know
won't
we're
help.
looking
You
for the
don't know.
Stanley Parable, right? The story? Is any of this ringing a bell?
Oh, we have full circle looped, my guy. This is my computer.
Oh, no, not again. Line, how could you have done this to us?
Line,
And
how
after
could
we
you have
trusted
done
you,
this?
after everything we've been through,
The cube numbers for
oh,
real,
I
though.
can't take this anymore. To hell with it. Restart.
Oh, the line's still here. This is a long ending.
You know what, Stanley? I say forget the adventure line. What's it ever done for us? We're intelligent people, right? Why can't we make up our own story? Something exciting, daring, mysterious. Ooh, this all sounds perfectly doable. Why don't we simply start wandering in, well, I don't know. How about this direction?
Oh, we're wandering.
Now, yes, this is exciting. Just me and Stanley forging a new path, a new story. Well, it could be anything. What do you want our story to be? Go wild. Use
Is
your
this-
imagination. Whatever it might be, Stanley,
We've cubed
I'm
ourselves.
ready for it.
This is truly a cubicle. We're like, this is just a little square that we're running in circles around. Oh. The game loaded? We have escaped the cube?
Oh, no, not you again.
Oh, the line.
Stanley, I'd also like to veto the line from having any role in our awesome new story. No lines or monitor rooms. Just don't acknowledge it, and we should be fine.
Yeah. I can't go up there, actually, so...
Ah, a choice. We get to make a decision. From here, the story is in our control. How
Is it?
important we mustn't squander the opportunity. In fact, I believe I need a minute to think here. Just walk in circles for a minute. Okay, so I know that each door has to lead somewhere, which means that somewhere, the place where we're trying to go, there must be a reverse door
Left wall
that leads
strat.
here. And that in turn means that our destination corresponds with the counter-inverted reverse door's origin. So starting from the
Counter-inverted
right,
reverse
let us
doors.
ask, will taking the right door lead us to where we're going?
Okay,
And
I've
since
had
the
enough
answer
of
is
this,
clearly yes, then by
walking in
all
circle
accounts,
stuff.
the door on the right is the correct one. Another victory for logic. Come, Stanley, our destiny awaits.
Are you sure, bud? The confusion ending.
Oh, hold up, what's this? The confusion ending. You're telling me that's what this is? It's all one giant ending? And we're supposed to restart the game, what, eight times? That's really how all this goes? It's all determined?
Nonsense philosophy and
So
music.
now, according to the schedule, I restart again. Then what? Am I just supposed to forget? Well, what if I don't want to forget? My mind goes blank simply because it's written here on this thing, wall. Well, who consulted me? Why don't I get to decide? Why don't I get a say in all of this? Is it really? No, it can't be. I don't want it to be. I don't want the game to keep restarting. I don't want to forget what's going on. I don't want to be trapped like this. I won't restart
Find
the game.
a
I won't
bookstore,
do it.
get
I
bored
won't
and leave.
do it. I won't do
Narrator
it.
restarts the game.
And the timer
The
stopped.
narrator is gone. After a long
that mean,
time, Stanley dies.
Did we do it? Did we break the cycle?
Excellent.
The, whatever it is that made this schedule? How would we even know? Will someone come
Oh,
for
would you
us?
look at that? Both
Will something
doors lead
happen?
into this room also.
So,
What a nice touch.
Okay, I guess now we just wait. You know, I suppose in some way that this is a kind of story, wouldn't you agree? I'm not quite sure if we're in the destination or the journey, though they're always saying that life
Indeed,
is about
Zorp,
the journey
indeed.
and not the destination. So I hope that's where we are right now. We'll find out, won't we? Eventually. Well, in the meantime, if you...
Oh. So, like, is this still...
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Is this still the confusion ending?
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Is there another ending on the left? I don't know that there is.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps
But
he
we
wanted to
can
stop
go,
by the
like,
employee lounge
straight
first,
through
just to
here, I
admire it.
think.
The lounge
like
was
the cargo
sublime,
room?
a work of art. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Because, like, this is something, right?
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Penalty for jumping off the cargo lift, you say?
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her.
Bah, bah, bah.
This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself. To put your work aside. To let her back into your life. She's been waiting.
Ooh.
That's her, Stanley. You need to be the one to do this. To reach out to her.
It
If you
did
can
get a little
truly
creepy
place
suddenly,
your
huh?
faith in another, then pick up the phone.
That was very bright.
Oh, Stanley, is that you? Hold on, sweetie. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm just pulling the bread out of the oven. All right. Okay, there we
Ow,
go.
ow.
All right, now, I want you to come in and tell me all about your
Gotcha.
Oh, what the heck?
Oh, come on. Did you actually think you had a loving wife who'd want to commit their life to you? I'm trying to make a point here, Stanley. I'm trying to get you to see something. Come inside. Let me show you what's really going on here.
Oh, is this must be the apartment ending, right?
This is a
That
very
makes
sad
sense.
story about the death of a man named Stanley.
Press M on your keyboard.
Stanley is quite a boring fellow. He has a job that demands nothing of him, and every button that he pushes is a reminder of the inconsequential nature of his existence. Look at him there, pushing buttons, doing exactly what he's told to do. Now he's pushing a button. Now he's eating lunch. Now he's going home. Now he's coming back to work. One might even feel sorry for him, except that he's chosen this life. But in his mind, in his mind he can go on fantastic adventures. From behind his desk, Stanley dreamed of wild expeditions into the unknown, fantastic discoveries of new lands. It was wonderful, and each day that he returned to work was a reminder that none of it would ever happen to him.
Jeez.
And so he began to
Press H to
fantasize about
watch
his own
TV.
job. First, he imagined that one day while at work, he stepped up from his desk to realize that all of his co-workers, his boss, everyone in the building had suddenly vanished off the face of the earth. The thought excited him terribly.
Press P to spend time with the boys.
So he went further. He imagined that he came to two
That's
open
hilarious.
doors and that he could go through either. At last, choice. It barely even mattered what lay behind each door. The mere thought that his decisions would mean something
Excuse me.
was almost too wonderful to behold.
Prepare dinner.
As he wandered through this fantasy world, he began to fill it with many possible paths and destinations. Down one path lay an enormous round room with monitors and
Wait,
mind
is this just
controls.
his office layout?
Down another was a yellow line that weaved in many directions, and down another was a game with a baby.
Like this
And he
is
called it
like his
the
computer desk,
Stanley
and then you
Parable.
walk out. Oh. Z to tell your kids a story.
It was such a wonderful fantasy, and so in his head he relived it again, and then again, and again, over and over, wishing beyond hope that it would never end, that he might always feel this free. Surely there's an answer down some new path, mustn't there be? Perhaps if he played just one more time.
I'm pressing Z so hard.
But there is no answer.
Oh.
How could there possibly be? In reality, all he's doing
Yeah.
is pushing the
We're
same
literally
buttons
just-
he always has. Nothing has
just back in
changed.
the,
The longer he spends here, the
office.
more invested he gets, the more he forgets which life is the real one.
L to go to
And
sleep.
I'm trying to
If
tell him
only it were
this,
that easy.
that in this world he can never be anything but an observer, that as long as he remains here, he's slowly killing himself. But he won't listen to me. He won't stop. Here, watch this. Stanley, the next time the screen asks you to push a button, do not do it.
We're not doing it. I mean, it's gonna make me do it, right? Like we're gonna sit here for a full minute, and it's just gonna like make us, surely. Yeah, I don't think we have a choice here. Alright, we're pushing the button then.
You see? Can he just not hear me? How can I tell him in a way that he'll understand that every second he remains here, he's electing to kill himself? How can I get him to see what I see? How can I make him look at himself?
Press Q to question
I
nothing.
suppose I can't, not in the way I want him to. But I don't make the rules. I simply play to my intended purpose, the same as Stanley. We're not so different, I suppose. I'll try once more to convey all this to him. I'm compelled to. I must. Perhaps, well, maybe this time he'll see. Maybe this time. And I tried again, and Stanley pushed a button. And I tried again.
That was a
and
wild
Stanley
message.
pushed a button. And I tried.
Goodness.
The meeting room. Yes, that's where everyone would be.
Oh?
Stanley just needed to get to the meeting room, and from then on, he would never be alone ever again.
Is this still part of the same ending? Because it's a different opening dialogue, so it might be.
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office,
Our
hoping
class
he might
do
find
an
an answer
unbelievable
there.
amount of work. Okay, so let's go downstairs.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office. But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours. He might be fired for that. And in such a competitive
How dare.
economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my
just walking
co-workers
through, like,
blinking
the same
mysteriously out
rooms
of
over and over.
existence in a single moment for no reason
I
at
think we
all.
are.
None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down?
Oh my
Why
goodness.
did doors close automatically behind him
We got no
wherever
feet,
he
guys.
went? And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming, he yelled. This is all a dream. Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground. Then he
Oh,
imagined
boy.
himself soaring
Hi,
through
Wildwater.
space on a magical
Hope you're doing well.
starfield, and it too appeared. It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had
That's
still
pretty
not
cool.
woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking? Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very odd and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself, believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life. Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream.
Oh,
Did
have
the
you
voice
never
not see
heard
him
of this
float
game?
and make the magical stars just a moment ago?
Okay, good. The pause does work. Okay, so this is the Stanley Parable. You kind of like go through, this narrator like guides you through this little hallway. You can probably beat the game for the first time in like 12 minutes or something like that. Like it's very short. But there are a couple parts in the game where he's like, and then Stanley went through the door on the left, and you can opt to take the door on the right. And it kind of like alters the way that the rest of the game plays out. There's so many endings to this game. I would have to like Google how many, but there's so many different ways that this game ends. I figured this was a good candidate for at least one day of streams for like the brief Elden Ring break. We are currently, yeah, exactly. We're currently considering the fact that this entire game might be a dream, apparently.
How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just...
And we're
He
kind
would
of just
prove it.
looping rooms at the
He
moment.
would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream.
I could
So he
probably just
closed his
stand
eyes
still
gently, and he
and
invited
just listen
himself
to the
wake
dialogue
up.
if we wanted to.
He felt the cool weight of the
Closing our
blanket on
eyes.
his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want. I want my apartment and my wife and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine. I am okay.
Nope, we're still here.
Stanley began screaming. Please, someone, wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black.
Who?
This is the story of a woman named Mariella.
Is it?
Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk.
Oh,
And
goodness.
although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments, she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy. This much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day, the very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
Well, that was an ending. Goodness. This is different. This is incorrect.
All of his
Where
co-workers
are we
were
now?
gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When
Oh.
Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Wait, why was that first room different if everything else is going to be... Okay, we're going right?
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Standing now in this incredible room, Stanley for the first time understood true happiness.
Whoa.
Then the feeling went away, and he felt sad again.
Oh, okay.
Then it came back, and lingered for a minute or two. Now it's only half there. Just a kind of, tingle.
Okay.
But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Well, this is the... That's like the apartment ending. We did that already.
And so he detoured
did
through
that.
the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
Go back in the meeting room.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
So
Coming
we
to a
just did the
staircase,
downstairs
Stanley
ending.
walked upstairs to his boss's
I guess
office.
we'd have to go back up here. I don't know that there's like another ending for us here, though.
The moment he entered his manager's office, Stanley froze in his tracks.
Did I?
Not a living soul anywhere. Could he really be all alone? This was too much for Stanley to take. Too much for... Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator talk. That kind of anxiety isn't healthy, so he relaxed for a few moments with some calming New Age music.
Nice. feeling so calm right now.
Feeling soothed and rejuvenated, Stanley calmly walked forward into the opened passageway.
I don't know if there's like another ending here though. I think there's two, and I think we've done them both.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control
Like we
Facility.
did escape, and that was like the museum portion.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out? Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed.
Pirate?
Each bore the number of an employee in the
Interesting.
building. Stanley's
Interesting.
co-workers.
I wish I could see pirate
The
a little
lives
bit
of
better.
so many individuals reduced to images on a screen. And Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
You're fired.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with
Oh,
his
goodness.
boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No, he refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never! It was unthinkable, wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life.
Yo, what's up,
For
gang?
he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
Is there like something we can do here for an alternate ending? Wait, where's 4? 4's up there, but that's like locked, isn't it? Yeah, there's a gate here. That's interesting. So it almost feels like there's a puzzle here. So there could actually be... There could be another ending here. I was unaware that this was a puzzle game. 0, 5, 2, 1. So does that mean if I go 5, 2, 1, does that do something? Doesn't seem like it. Is there like a 0 somewhere? It does feel like there's something else here. I'm not sure how I'm supposed to know. No, if I just like left click, it makes like keyboard sounds. Or if I press E, it also makes keyboard sounds. They are very good keyboard sounds though. Oh, you know what? What if we turn the mind control machine on?
And when at last he found the source of the room's power... Oh, Stanley, you didn't just activate the controls, did you? After they kept you enslaved all these years, you go and you try to take control of the machine for yourself. Is that what you wanted? Control? Oh, Stanley, I applaud your effort, I really do. But you need to understand, there's only so much that machine can do. You were supposed to let it go, turn the controls off, and leave. If you want to throw my story off track, you're going to have to do much better than that. I'm afraid you don't have nearly the power you think you do. For example, and I believe you'll find this pertinent, Stanley suddenly realized he had just initiated the network's emergency detonation system.
Oh, good.
In the event that this machine is activated without proper DNA identification,
DNA
nuclear
identification.
detonators are set to explode, eliminating the entire complex. How long until detonation then? Let's say, 2 minutes. Ah, now this is making things a little more fun, isn't it, Stanley? It's your time to shine. You are the star. It's your story now. Shape it to your heart's desires. Oh, this is much better than what I had in mind. What a shame we have so little time left to enjoy it. Mere moments until the bomb goes off. But what precious moments each one of them is. More time to talk about you.
Oh, you jerk.
About me. Where we're going. What all this means. I barely know where to start. What's that? You'd like to know where your co-workers are?
This is open.
A moment of solace before you're obliterated? All right, I'm in a good mood. You're gonna die anyway. I'll tell you exactly what happened to them. I erased them. I turned off the machine. I set you free. Of course, that was merely in this instance of the story. Sometimes when I tell it, I simply let you sit there in your office forever, pushing buttons endlessly and then dying alone. Other times, I let the office sink into the ground, swallowing everyone inside, or I let it burn to a crisp. I have to say this, though, this version of events has been rather amusing. Watching you try to make sense of everything and take back the control wrested away from you, it's quite rich. I almost hate to see it go. But I'm sure whatever I come up with on the next go-around will be even better. My goodness, only 34 seconds left. But I'm enjoying
so
this
surely
so much.
there isn't
You know
actually
what?
anything we
To
can
hell
do
with
here.
it. I'm going to put some extra time on the clock. Why not? These are precious additional seconds, Stanley. Time doesn't grow on trees. Oh dear me, what's the matter, Stanley? Is it that you have no idea where you're going or what you're supposed to be doing right now? Or did you just assume when you saw that timer that something in this room was capable of turning it off? I mean, look at you. Running from button to
Send
button,
power surge.
screen to screen, clicking on every little thing in this room. These numbered buttons, no, these colored ones. Or maybe this big red button, or this door. Everything, anything, something here will save me. Why would you think that, Stanley? That this video game can be beaten? Won? Solved? Do you have any idea what your purpose in this place is?
This guy's a psycho.
You're in for quite a disappointment. But here's a spoiler for you. That timer isn't a catalyst to keep the action moving along. It's just seconds ticking away to your death. You're only still playing instead of watching a cutscene because I want to watch you for every moment that you're powerless. To see you made
Man, this
humble.
guy is cold.
This is not a challenge. It's a tragedy. You wanted to control this world, that's fine. But I'm going to destroy it first, so you can't. Take a look at the clock, Stanley. That's 30 seconds you have left to struggle. 30 seconds until a big boom and then nothing. No ending here, just you being blown to pieces. Will you cling desperately to your frail life, or will you let it go peacefully?
GLaDOS, he's
Another
right.
choice. Make it count, or don't. It's all the same to me, all a part of the joke. And believe me, I will be laughing at every second of your inevitable life from the moment we fade in until the moment I say, happily ever after.
Ooh. Nice. Well, that happened.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
Oh man, what
Stanley
else is there
decided to
left
go
to
to the
do?
meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
New content?
Oh, new content? What does that mean, new content?
Alright, very nice. We have unlocked the DLC.
Hello, and thank you for playing the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
Excellent.
As you may know, the Stanley Parable was a video game released in 2013 on home computers.
2013, this game is 13 years old. Holy.
After receiving critical and commercial success, it was expanded upon in 2022 with the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, a reimagining of the game for consoles and home computers.
Oh, for consoles? I didn't realize this game
The
was on
Stanley
console.
Parable Ultra Deluxe features exciting new content that broadens and expands the world of the Stanley Parable,
More
delighting
games.
audiences the
Let's
world over.
go.
Please, step inside and see what thrilling new adventures await in the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
Oh, well, this sounds delightful. I'm very excited to see the thrilling new Ultra Deluxe content. Okay, so far it's an elevator. Nothing special yet, but I'm sure it's just the beginning of a mesmerizing adventure.
Surely, right, guys? Surely.
Is it broken? What's going on here? Should we be moving somewhere or... Oh, there we go. All right, finally, at long last, it's on to the new content. I've never been more ready. Let's do it. I have to say, initial impressions of Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, mostly tedious. It's as if Oh, okay. Let's see the content. Give me the content, Stanley.
It's just a wall. Oh.
All
The
right.
jump circle.
All right, let's see. It's the jump circle.
Jumps remaining. I can only jump inside the circle? Wow, that's kind of nuts. Oh, We're out of jumps, guys. It was fun while it lasted.
Is that it? Surely that's not all the new content. There has to be something else, right? Goodness. Another elevator. Stanley, I have to say, initial impressions of this game are not positive. It's just elevators and jumping. Is this what passes for exciting new content? If
That's
this is new
basically all
content,
Elden
then I
Ring
could
is.
just read you the
It's
whole
just elevators
dictionary.
and
There's
jumping.
20 hours of new content right there. Hell, I could counter 30 trillion. You could put that on the box. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, now with over 1,000 hours of new content. And oh wait, there's more. Very good. Yes, I knew there had to be something else. Let's see it. I'm ready for whatever it is.
That's
it?
crazy.
Oh, you've got to be kidding me. You see, Stanley? This is what happens when greedy video game developers with no respect for their fan base rush a cheap expansion to market for no reason other than to make an easy dollar. And don't get me started on the level of craftsmanship that's gone into it. In fact, I'm looking right now at the game's achievements, and it's hard to believe one of them actually says, "Test achievement, please ignore." What quality assurance department signed off on this? I'm infuriated and I'm offended, and I intend to find these people on Twitter and hold them personally
On
accountable.
Twitter, oh no.
It's my fault, Stanley. I built up too much anticipation around the new content, I'm afraid. It could never have lived up to such expectations. If you're still with me, why don't we just reset the game, and we'll try to get back to what the Stanley Parable is really about. No frills, no gimmicks. Just you and me having a great time together like always. What do you say, friend?
Ye old classic reset. This is different.
Psst.
Ooh.
Stanley, come over here. In the vent.
Wait.
I want to show you something.
But there's like stuff over. Okay, well we'll do the vent. Because it would be dumb if we went that way and that was just like back to base game or something.
Okay, you remember how cheap and unsatisfying the new Ultra Deluxe content turned out to be? Well, it got me thinking about the past and how much better the Stanley Parable used to be. So I made something special and tucked it away here where the game's developers won't find it. Just our little secret. Take a look. I call it the Memory Zone. It's where I've been storing all my favorite memories so I can relive the peak experiences of my life whenever I want. Experiences like the launch of the Stanley Parable on PC. You see, Stanley, doesn't the Memory Zone remind you of how wonderful Stanley Parable was before it was sullied with a cheap re-release? Remember back in October of 2013 when the game
Release of
originally
Stanley
launched?
Parable in
Back then,
2013,
video
that's funny.
games had integrity. Back then, it all meant something. Oh, the waste.
Good times. Nice. Don't play for 5 years, goodness. It is impossible to get this achievement. Of course. Oh, remember that time when we went crazy and we died on the sidewalk? Not something I would want to keep in the memory zone, I'm not gonna lie.
Je suis dans la memory zone, seul sur l'abri de l'eau, et je n'attends plus que toi, mon amour.
What even is that?
C'est là, dans la memory
Is that a bunny?
où je me remémore les jours
Too
où je
real.
t'ai rencontré.
And over
mon
here
amour.
is where I keep reviews of the Stanley Parable.
Oh,
Like this
yeah,
stunning
'cause
triumph
they're
of
fair.
games journalism. 10 out of 10 from Destructoid.com. James Stephanie Sterling writes, and I quote, "Where so many games that aspire to be more than games end up less than any form of art, Stanley Parable strives and then succeeds to be every game ever created." Did you hear that, Stanley? Every game ever created. That's how grand and all-encompassing the original Stanley Parable was. It was literally every game ever created. It was Skyrim. It was Persona 3. It was all of them. And
Skyrim
now
mentioned?
it's nothing. It's no games at all. It isn't even the Stanley Parable anymore. It's just a husk now. A lifeless husk with an hour of new elevator content.
Hour of new elevator content. Very Elden Ring coded of them.
Here's another moving passage, this time from GameSpot.com.
Hey, what's up, Chubster?
The Stanley
We are
Parable
playing
is
the
both
Stanley
a richly
Parable.
stimulating commentary on the nature of choice in games, and one that offers some of the most enjoyable, surprising, and rewarding
Husk's a
choices
good one.
I've ever been confronted with in a game. 9 out of 10. Don't you get it, Stanley? The game was perfect. It didn't need anything else. It didn't need new content. It just needed to be left alone, to spend the rest of time collecting dust in the hallowed hall of beloved video game memories.
Too real. Too real. You can okay, well then ask your question. I can answer the question you ask, not the question you wish you asked. You're surprised I'm not playing Resident Evil? I have never played a Resident Evil game. What the heck happened there? That's not true. I played one of like the co-op ones like years and years ago, and I was like, honestly, this isn't amazing. I did buy like the first one on Steam somewhat recently. I was like, I've heard these games are really good, like I should sit down and play this at some point, but I haven't yet. Yeah, I played like an hour, like one of the
These were
co-op
simpler times, Stanley,
centric ones,
but I wouldn't give to go back
with someone
to
who had
have
already
all
played it like
over
a bunch of
again.
times. So like, I feel like I didn't even get like
Wait,
a
hang
proper
on.
experience.
I don't recall this part of the memory zone before. What's this? What's down here?
Cold drinks.
Oh no. Oh God, no. Stanley, it's a collection of reviews from Steam, the online
Not
video
the
game
Steam
distributor.
reviews.
I haven't looked at these in years. I can't even imagine what's been collecting down here. Surely these reviews were glowing as well, weren't they? Honestly, I could not be bothered to play this game to full completion. The narrator is obnoxious and unfunny, with his humor and dialogue proving to be more irritating than entertaining. Unfunny! I'm not trying to be funny. I'm trying to make a serious work of art. I suppose I could write up a handful of gags to insert into the Stanley Parable, but the game is already such a densely layered web of profound philosophical insights
So
that I
true.
can't even imagine where I'd have the room to stick them.
Profound philosophical insights, guys. You heard it here. In the game that talks about itself, it is philosophical and profound. Oh.
Okay, let's see what this one says. While the idea for the game is good, for someone who prefers non-linear games, this preachiness gets annoying fast. Preachy? Stanley, I'm not preachy, am I? You can tell me if I'm preachy. Honestly, you can. Oh, goodness. This is actually quite shocking for me. Well, to be honest, I had always thought of the game's dialogue as being rather terse to begin with. You can't know how much fluff I cut from the game to get it to feel as light and airy as it, well, I always thought it did, but maybe it wasn't. Dear, what an awful memory to have to hold on to. These black marks on my otherwise unimpeachable track record.
Unimpeachable.
I feel like a failure. Like I let these people down. Perhaps the Stanley Parable isn't quite as sterling as I always remembered.
This does kind of hit in the day and age of the remaking games that came out
What's this
3
one
years
got to
ago.
say? You constantly have to stop doing anything so the narrator can catch up with his long-winded explanations of what's happening. I wish there was a skip button. A skip button? Well, yes. Yes, I think we can do that. If I'm truly too preachy, then maybe letting you skip ahead for just a moment, surely it couldn't hurt. Not if it means we can strike these negative reviews from the record. Only positive reviews of the Stanley Parable. Oh, that's my motto today, and it's always been my motto. I'd do anything for the customer, Stanley. Yes, a skip button we shall have.
Honestly, I could have seen it going either way.
And here it is. Go ahead and give it a shot. I'll pop you forward in time so that the second my incessant droning starts to bore you, with just the push of a button, you'll have zipped right past it. It's what the players have been asking for, and I'm very proud to have delivered. No more listening to me rambling on and on and on. No. The Stanley Parable is a game for the people. And if the people want silence, then by goodness, that's what they're going to get. Well, don't sit around waiting for me to shut up. Go ahead and make me shut up. Here, we'll pretend that I've just begun an interminable monologue, and it goes something like this. The story, and the choices, or what have you, and therefore, by becoming it is, so on and so forth, until inevitably, we all until the end of time, at which time everything all at once, so, now you see, blah, 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 blah. Oh, you're back, you see. You were only frozen in time for a few minutes, but it was plenty of time for me to deliver a long, rambling monologue full of unnecessary verbal flourishes and mental ruminations on the nature of choice in video games. Of course, I happen to believe it was perhaps one of my more profound such ruminations. Not that, of course, you need a description of it, but if I had to describe it, I'd say it was perhaps less of a rumination and more of a treatise. Or maybe a manifesto. Look, I'll outline it for you very briefly, and you can tell me what you think. Okay, so my theory is that any choice you've ever made is simply a series of choices made by the person who you are, or were, or will be at the time of having made said choice. That is to say, if by articulating a choice you've already made, you bring that choice into being, then by making no choice and saying nothing, are you not simply erecting in the sanctuary of time a monument to every person you've ever been, making every choice to which you've ever given your Greek gift of mortal and yet timeless thought? Or rather, do all of the choices you've ever made, in fact, make you more not this kind of person, and in fact do the very opposite? You see, it could in fact be both of these things at once, that you are both making choices and not making choices, and that they are both affecting you and not affecting you at the same time by virtue of the fact that you both are and are not making them. Okay, at first, I was leaning towards manifesto, but now I'm going to circle around and slap the treatise label on this one. I think it has much more of a treatise vibe to it.
I have never in my life heard the word
manifesto
treatise.
Just has a much grander sort of tone? It has a mouthfeel that is rich with ambition and history.
Dude, how long does this go?
See, now you've gotten me going back to manifesto. Heavens, at this rate, we're going to be here all day. Okay, look. I have a method for exactly this sort of situation, and I do find myself in this situation frequently. Well there, sport. You really did catch me rambling on a bit, didn't you? But that's the power of the button. The minute I start to go off on a thoughtless display of self-absorption, it's right at your fingertips to go poof, and it's all over. Oh, I can't wait to see what Cookie 9 will say about this, and whether they'll edit the rating of their Steam review, or at least change some of the wording, perhaps. To be honest, I don't even know if one can change their review in the first place. I guess I should become better educated on exactly how Steam works. Perhaps that would have been the smart thing to check on before I went about Okay, welcome back, Stanley. Now, I should say that the amount of time the button has been skipping through is becoming longer and longer. That last one was, well, I want to say maybe 30, 45
I am
minutes.
very curious,
It's not
Webster. I am very
unendurable by any
curious.
means, but it's, well, there's really only so much I can ramble on to myself about. I know, it's shocking,
I wonder
isn't it?
if
But at
anyone
any
has
rate,
actually like
I
gotten
do
to this
suggest that
point
we
in the
not
game
press the
and
button
like
again.
just sat
I
here
think the skip
and just like
button
pressed
has been
record on
aptly
OBS
demonstrated, and we can say
and just
goodbye to it.
let
and
it run
wait,
like all
how do I
day.
get out of here?
Because like surely
Where did the
eventually
door
at some
go?
point this
Wasn't
guy
there a
runs out of
door
stuff
that
to
led
say,
into this
right? There's
room?
no way.
I do feel quite certain
This dude didn't
there was
record
one
like
here
20
before.
hours of
How
audio
else would
for
we
this
have gotten
one
into the
room.
room
There's
in the
no
first
way.
place? I don't think one can enter a room without a door of some sort, or a window or something like that. Do you see a window anywhere? Porthole? A sufficiently large
That's
crack in the
amazing, Giggity.
wall?
That is
I'll take any
truly
of these.
amazing.
All I want is for us to move on and to please
30
step
to
away
45
from the skip
minutes, did
button
he?
to go
I missed it.
anywhere other than the skip button. There was a door here before, wasn't there? I swear there was.
Oh,
Where did
the
it
door's
go?
gone.
Can you maybe just ram your way through a wall? Is there
Yeah,
any
surely.
possibility that you could, say, slam your body into the wall until enough damage is done for you to be able to leave? Please, I'll take any option at all. I'm asking you to work with me here. We need a door. We need a door. Stanley, please don't push the button again. It's been 12 hours. You've just been frozen there. I don't know why the skips are getting longer, but they're really, truly getting longer, and my God, there's no way out of the room. Stanley, the door is gone. It's completely gone. I've looked at it from every angle. I've checked every one of those walls 1,000 times, and there's no door, Stanley. There's no door. There's just you and the button, and if you keep pressing it, I have no idea what will happen. I have
Alright,
no
well,
idea how long I'll be made to sit here.
guess
and
we
more than
just push
anything
the
else,
button.
I don't know how to stop you from pressing the button again. I can't control anything in this room. Oh, Stanley, you're back.
Oh, the plant
You're
died.
back. Oh, my goodness. I have someone to talk to again. Stanley, I think it's been a week. Or 2 weeks. I've been sitting here all that time. Just sitting here. Not a single person to
Should we
speak
do it
with.
again?
And you'd think that that's just how it's always been, right? Me talking and you saying nothing. Would you think that it's exactly the same as always? Doesn't that feel like what we've already been doing? Me... Oh, hello. It's you. You're here again. Welcome. I have had time to think about you and about us and about everything we've been
Us?
through. I've had so much time. I stopped keeping track after a year. Have you ever sat down in one place and not moved for one entire year? Let me describe it for you. To begin with, there is only regret. There is only the turning wheel of missed opportunities.
Oh no. uh
But they didn't understand the game
Oh,
was never
goodness.
meant to be funny. It was meant to have a point. It was meant to speak to the human condition. But where are the jokes? Where are the jokes? They bemoaned, they screamed, they gnashed their teeth and said, entertain us.
Gnashed
It
their
wasn't enough.
teeth.
They had to leave a pathetic little
Yo, what's up,
thumbs down
Vanessa? How you
review
doing, dude?
and make all of their
you're
pitiful
doing well.
demands. But then, he's talking too much, they said. First, he didn't entertain us, now he won't shut up. It's the inconsistency,
agree,
it's
Zorp.
the lack
I-
of accountability.
I thought
It's
that's
the
what it was
unwillingness
initially.
to examine with an uncompromising heart the words that they are speaking into the world, as though there were no consequences for a lack of cohesion in one's assessment of others. But of course, absolutely anyone can leave a review. So here...
Yeah, you should leave a negative review, Zorb. Maybe you'll make it into the next DLC in another, like, 5 years. Could be cool.
The end is never the end, is never the end, is never the
Oh, what the
end,
heck?
is never the end, 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 is
This
never
is
the
like
end, is never the
supremely creepy,
end,
I'm
is
not
never
gonna
the
lie.
end, is never the end.
The ceiling's leaking. Well, surely that's a good sign. The clock has fallen off the wall. And is not ticking anymore. Oh. We've been here a long time, I think. A long, long time. Yo, what's up, Spectre? Yo, what's up, Kool-Aid? Hope you're all doing well. Soul Slayer, welcome in. No bits, don't worry. How's it going, dude? Hope practice went well. How you feeling about it? Yo, thank you for the follow. Welcome in. What's up, Mr. Bunny Wizard? You don't like Mitra anymore? So that means you're learning, right? That's usually what that means, so that's a good sign. If you don't hate the game, you just don't understand it yet. Truly tragic. But welcome in, everybody. If you're new here from the raid, I am Zephyr, Zeph, either one is fine. I usually do challenge run stuff. I just recently got kicked out of the Hitless League that Spectre is still competing in. I didn't make the cut for semis, unfortunately. So we're taking a brief Elden Ring break. We're playing some Stanley Parable today. And we'll be back on our Elden Ring grind, probably starting next Monday. So if you're into kind of stuff that Spectre does, we do a lot of that same stuff here, just taking a brief break to work on relaxing for a bit before we start going for some crazy Elden Ring runs. We have like a couple of the upcoming runs. We have St. Trina's any percent. We have All Remembrances, and then we're going to be doing like some RO1 plus 0 stuff, which will be very difficult and likely will take us the rest of the year. So I'm very excited about getting that stuff started. Not really a puzzle game, no. It's more of a, you like walk around and like the story happens to you. There's like minor decision making. I wouldn't call it like a puzzle game though. It's very interesting. It's very interesting. Very good like chill game, I feel. Oh goodness. Yeah, it's like a branching paths kind of story game. Like you can beat this game in probably like 10 minutes. And then it just restarts and it sends you back to the beginning, and then you can just pick to do other things, and you get all these different kind of endings. And as you get like more and more endings, the game becomes self-aware and starts talking about itself to you, which is kind of cool. It diverges a lot, yeah. Yeah, that was very accurate. Oh, what the heck? But we recently read a Steam review that talked about how the narrator was very preachy and he doesn't shut up and he's so long-winded and all this stuff. So he gave us a skip button. So we're currently skipping forward in time. And this room that we're locked inside of is apparently just crumbling. Yeah, no worries, dude. Appreciate the raid. Good luck this weekend. I'm sure I'll catch another stream before you play again, but yeah, we may have skipped so far ahead in time that the narrator may have passed. Kinda crazy. Oh, geez. That was big skip, I guess. like exactly the same. That didn't even like change anything. We don't have like a flashlight or anything, do we? We don't. Oh. Oh. We waited so long, we've triggered the Ashen Capital, apparently. We just send it, surely. This may have been foolish. I expect we hard reset. Right? Yep. So there's the hard reset. We are back at the beginning, and now we can choose another path.
Stanley knew the office layout like the back of his hand. It was only a matter of time before he found the others, wherever they were. Just a matter of time.
So, I seem to remember... Oh? That there is a way... Yeah? Yeah? Hold on, we're cooking. Yeah! This
At
is like
first,
one of
Stanley
the only
assumed
ones.
he'd broken the map until he heard this narration and realized it was part of the game's design all along.
This is one
He
of the
then
only
praised
things
the
that I
game for its
remember.
insightful and witty commentary into the nature of video game structure and its examination of structural narrative tropes. So, now that you're here, what do you think? Isn't this a fun and unique place to be? Why
Very
don't we
white.
take a minute just to drink it all in? Okay, I'm over it now. What do you think? Are you sick of this gag yet?
What do we think? I imagine yes progresses us, but if we say no, we might get some more funny dialogue. Yeah, I feel like it's gotta be no.
Then in that case, we'll continue. But now, here comes the real question. What do you think would have happened if you had told me that you wanted this to stop? Do you think it would have been particularly different? Would I have taken the same idea but rephrased it superficially to fit that answer? Perhaps you never would even have thought of it if I hadn't brought up the issue in the first place. Oh, now think about it. Will it be worth it for you to restart and then come back here just to do the other option? Clearly,
might.
this whole gag takes some time. What if the other option is even longer? How long will you spend in total just to have heard all the narration? Oh, and this is rich. Perhaps you've just played the other option, and now you've come to see what happens in this one.
So
So,
true.
what do you think? Which choice was the better one? Imagine if you had selected continue on your first playthrough, how tantalizing it would be not knowing what happens when you pick the other option. Indeed, you are one of the lucky ones.
I don't have that
Though
skip
if the
button
other
anymore,
option
huh?
is really miserable to listen to, then perhaps you're not. In fact, I'm just going to say that no one who's listening to this is lucky.
You've never seen
Well
this one?
now, I've built up the other option so much that I'm going to stop talking and leave you to your decision whether to come back here, continue with the game, or just sit in this spot forever and ever. Cheers.
Oh, so we're just here now. Okay, so I think we're just here until we reset ourselves now, because I can't be like, yeah. So I think we reset, and then honestly, I say we go
All
back
of his co-workers were gone.
and we try
What
it
did
again.
mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Oh, ads are about to start in a minute, so let me actually snooze that.
At first, Stanley assumed he'd broken the map, until he heard this narration and realized it was part of the game's design all along. He then praised the game for its insightful and witty commentary into the nature of video game structure and its examination of structural narrative tropes. So, now that you're here, what do you think? Isn't this a fun and unique place to be? Why don't we take a minute just to drink it all in? Okay, I'm over it now. What do you think? Are you sick of this gag yet? Well, I don't know how to say this politely, but you could literally just hit escape and restart the game any old time you want, like right now. You could have done it just then. Now would also be an appropriate time to quit. Any of these points and so many, many more, all of them are appropriate. I'm enjoying what seems to be an internal conflict going on where you are literally unable to act on your own desires to restart the game. So, just to push the envelope, I'm going to try and make this as miserable as possible and see how
What a
long you
jerk.
can maintain. There once was a man named Stanley, who people considered
this is
so
amazing.
manly. But the truth must be told, he was not very old and was quite particularly gangly. What Stanley liked most was buttons. He pushed them like some kind of glutton. He did it all day in a meaningful way, but his brain had long ceased to function. Which is why he is in this parable and lives an existence quite terrible. And if you are not strong and keep playing along, you too will become quite unbearable. Yes. You too will become quite unbearable.
Amazing. No notes, actually. It's just good stuff, you know? It's just good stuff. I'm fairly certain that's it. I just want to give it a minute just in case. But I'm pretty sure that's it. Alright, well, there's that.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
Alright, so let's
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room.
hit
Perhaps
the
he had simply
DLC
missed a
stuff
memo.
again, right? Oh, look at that. New content. New squared. Sign
oh, good.
me up, bro.
You noticed my sign. Yes, I have something very exciting to show you.
I played like an hour of it before. I think it was all just like the base game stuff. I don't know that I've really done like the super ultra deluxe edition stuff all that much. Like I feel like I vaguely remember the skip button, so maybe I like dabbled a little bit. But this was like
You see,
years
Stanley,
and years ago at
I've
this
been
point.
reflecting on the Stanley Parable
I think they
and about
said
how roundly disappointing
that
this ultra
the
deluxe
expansion
version
for this
has
was in
turned
like
out to be.
2022.
The original Stanley Parable was a landmark, and any new content for it
So
should live
it
up to
was
that
honestly
legacy.
probably
So forget
around that
this
time.
ultra deluxe nonsense. I say we take it one step even further. Which
boy.
is why I'm very proud to announce for the first time ever the Stanley Parable 2.
Whoa. Imagine being
Yes,
involved
you
with
see,
not
isn't
one,
this far superior
but
to a measly
two parables
re-release with
in
a
your
few
lifetime.
minor additions? Think of all the new territory we'll cover with a fully fledged sequel. An entirely new experience, built from
The
the
end is
ground
never
up.
the end
Why, there are so
again.
many possibilities. It could go in so many different directions. This is what fans have truly been asking for. calling it the Stanley Parable 2 is just so much catchier than Ultra Deluxe, don't you think? Ultra Deluxe? What does it even mean? But the Stanley Parable 2, now that's an artistic statement right there. It's future-oriented. It screams progress and innovation and long-term franchising
Two
potential.
doors. That is amazing. New content part 2. Win-win. The color red is apparently a very big part of the, Oh my gosh, guys, it's the fern. It's the fern. He wasn't even lying. The fern is important later. Insane callback. Absolutely amazing. I think it is. I think it is. I'm fairly certain. You spent a good chunk of time. Like, that looks like the same floor. It was on either side of a window. You can see it's like washed out a little bit on the sides. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it's the same fern, not once, but twice. 'Cause Stanley Parable 2, bro. Trust. I was studying. I'm not gonna lie, I kinda like 5. Stanley Parable 2, Return of the Fern. It did matter. Two Stanleys? That sounds awful. I am so sorry. Stanley Parable 22. I don't know if we need 22 Stanley
Now, to
Parable
be
games.
clear, I haven't quite nailed down what exactly the Stanley Parable 2 is going to be, but let's take a look at some of the features I've been developing for it. I figure that if I can loosely organize a handful of interesting concepts, that
Hold
surely
up.
the game will sort of naturally
writes a
spring
9
up
like
around
that?
them. It'll all work itself
That
out.
says
Game
goo.
development is much more of a fuzzy magic than anything scientific or logical, really.
That straight up just says goo. That is not 9 o'clock. That is goo, 10 o'clock, 11:30, 11:35, 12:02. That is goo. That is not a 9. A 9 doesn't have a hook. Who took the red marker? Me. Absolute psychopath out here at like goo o'clock. We're gonna do this. Sequels are good. Portal 2, Half-Life 2, Arkham Asylum 2, Divinity Original Sin 2, Doom 2, Dark Souls 2 made the cut. Dude, it's proof right here. Dark Souls 2, it's a good game. Haters in shambles. Oh my goodness. Oh, the prequel. Wild. Now, I don't know. It's right there, dude. Right there. Dark Souls 2. Sequels are good. There you go. The information is right there. The narrator said so. New features. Oh man, they got like a whole bus about this. Crazy.
Here we are. Go on, try out some of the new features.
Excuse me. The button that says the name of the player that is playing the game.
the Stanley Parable 2, I asked myself, what do players really want? And of course, the first and most obvious answer is that they want to be individually recognized and validated as people. So with that in mind, my first addition to the game is this button which speaks the name of the person playing the game. Isn't that wonderful?
Jim.
Sorry, I should have clarified. Right now, the button only says the name Jim. But of course, in the final game, this button will say your name, whatever name that is. Here, let's have you role-play as Jim to really simulate the full experience of this feature. Just play along. I promise you'll love it. Okay, here we go. Let's take a deep breath, clear your mind, forget whoever you are, and simply become a person named Jim.
Sure.
I want you to imagine yourself living as Jim, sleeping and waking as Jim,
Sure.
falling in love and being heartbroken as Jim, seizing all of the world's possibilities as Jim, and as Jim watching your dreams crumble into dust. Do you feel it deeply? Are you really, truly Jim right now? If so, then please step forward and press the button.
That must have been like a surreal split-second moment if you are playing this game as someone whose actual name is Jim. Like, that must be just like absolutely insane. Like, you just walk up, you press it, it goes Jim, and for like half a second before the narrator is like, oh, I should have told you, like, in that moment you're just like, why does my computer know my name? Like, that must be absolutely insane.
Jim.
Yeah.
Yes, you see.
That's crazy.
What a thrill, what a rush. That was you. The button described you. Do it again, do it again.
Oh, is that a thing?
Jim.
Ooh, it hits even harder the second time. If this
That's
were the
actually really
only
funny.
new feature in the Stanley Parable 2, it would still be worth the money. Let's
I
take
don't
a
know
break
about
from the
that.
Jim button. I'm too emotionally drained from all of this personal validation.
Jim.
Whoa there, cowboy. Sometimes a person can be too much Jim. I'm putting the Jim button away. Otherwise, soon you'll
Jim.
start to lose all
Jim.
sense of who
Jim.
you actually
Jim.
are.
Jim.
My button. Guys, I don't even know who I am anymore. It seems like these doors like don't open or anything, right? You're right.
I suppose I could allow only people named Jim to play the Stanley Parable 2.
True.
An epilogue would be fun, wouldn't it, Stanley? Yes, it would go at the end of the, well, we'll figure that out later.
Oh, that's it? This is... Okay. Sure. No, that makes sense. What the heck is that? Settings World Champion, please explain. I can't go in there. I would like to kind of progress. Oh, the jump circle.
You know what? Let's bring the jump circle back for Stanley Parable 2 as well. It's... Oh, wait. You already spent all your jumps the first time we saw the jump circle? Oh, well. I suppose it can just be a nice decorative piece, then.
Rip. No more jumping. We didn't, like, skip anything, did we? Consistent quality with just the right amount of change. That has never happened ever. The new updated ray traced more of the same, but in a good way. That's pretty creepy. Please no screenshots. It'd be very funny if I screenshotted that and got an achievement or something. I did, Vinicius, I did. The reassurance bucket. I mean, they couldn't have thought of everything, you know?
A
They
common
did so
complaint
good.
of the Stanley Parable was that
They
it was
missed one thing.
confusing
It
and
is what it is.
paradoxical, that it engendered a chaotic sense of reckless despair in those who played it. Well, I'm happy to say that after much consideration, I've engineered a clever solution to this fundamental problem with the game. It's the Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket. You see, Stanley, anytime you're holding the bucket, a sense of calm and ease will fill your mind and your heart. It's true. As long as you hold on to the bucket, the many disorienting contradictions of the Stanley Parable will feel perfectly normal and perhaps even comforting. You may even come to long for the gentle embrace of jarring cognitive dissonance while the bucket is in your arms. And to be honest, it's a much more convenient solution for me than actually redesigning the game to be less uncomfortable. Can you imagine what a pain in the ass that would be? Yes, the bucket is the perfect solution. Come on, give it a try. Can you feel it?
That was
The
such a
glow of
psychotic
comfort,
laugh for
even
no
in
reason.
the face of crushing despair, must already be sweeping through your body. And in fact, can I say that I do believe the bucket lends you an air of charisma as well? I think that just holding it has made you the slightest bit more attractive as a person. The benefits of the bucket seem to go on, don't they? All this and more await you in the Stanley Parable 2.
I played like a little bit of Team Fortress at some point. Not a whole lot. I can't say I recognize what that would sound like. Can I just like walk out with this? Am I supposed to walk out with this? Is he gonna get mad at me? Can I throw
Does
it?
anyone give out awards for most enjoyable bucket in a video game? Okay, I'll be honest, I haven't yet decided on this one. I think that in the new version, the office could use a bit of decoration, like balloons. But I'm undecided on Get Well Someday and Happy 12th Birthday. Which would you go with?
Oh man. I mean, you know, personally, I think a workplace can benefit greatly from just general get well day or get well someday cards. I don't know about you guys, but most of the people I've ever worked with in my life are just like absolute psychos and definitely have something wrong with them. I think it's just good to like wish people well, you know what I mean?
You know, sometimes when you solicit another person's opinion, it makes you realize that you knew which one you actually really wanted all along. Happy 12th birthday, step-niece.
Oh,
it
okay.
is.
Well, screw you. Unbelievable. Wow, that was
actually,
a fast
maybe I should
update.
have gone with... No, I've made my decision. We're moving on.
Alright, well. Alright, easy achievement.
Now, here's something special. You remember that broken test achievement that got left in the game on accident? Well, I'm developing a technology to simply give you the achievement. Yes. You see, you'll come to this lever, and when you pull it, the achievement will be given to you. It's as simple as that.
Oh, How'd you pull it?
Okay, perhaps I should have clarified. This is technology that will exist. Right now, the achievement is still fully
my
broken.
God.
I'm not a wizard, Stanley, but I guarantee it will be fixed in the sequel to at last satisfy the hordes of ravenous fans all over the world who have been uproariously demanding this feature. Gamers, we hear you, and I promise it will happen.
Is that it? This really doesn't do anything? There's like no extra dialogue here or anything? They just bait you with another fake achievement? Alright.
What else? What other exhibits haven't we seen yet?
Collectibles? Heck yeah, my dude. Collect them all. Can you find them? Can you find them? Can you find them? Oh my goodness. What is this?
Collectibles. Now it's a real video game. In the Stanley Parable 2, you'll run around gathering up these miniature Stanley figurines. And what's truly innovative is that there will be no reward for collecting all of them. I don't want to stifle the intrinsic joy of watching a number go up. You simply
So
collect
true.
all of them, and then you move
I don't know if you
with
guys
your
know this, but like
unremarkable life.
objectively, the best genre of game is big number gets bigger. Like that is just like objectively true. Nice. I wonder if there's like actually 6 of them. Or if that's like
God,
the
it
only
really
one.
is the worst when you collect everything in a video game and then they give you a big fancy reward for it. Absolutely tragic.
Wait, what is the infinite hole? Why is this map so miserable? Oh, infinite hole. It won't end. That's a good one. That's a good one, I'm not gonna lie to you.
Stanley, here's an idea that I'm truly fond of. It's never been done before in a video game. This is in fact
there's an
a
hub?
hole that you can fall down forever. That's right.
Oh.
Infinite falling. You can fall until the end of time if you like. A stunning leap forward for video games as a medium.
Man, I'd be really scared of doing this, except this bucket is so calming and reassuring.
You see, isn't it wonderful? One of my more ingenious concoctions, if I do say so. Now then, since you've gotten to see the infinite hole, you can press the teleport button to pop back up to the top, and we can continue onward.
Sure, but like...
Now, I don't mean to be a bummer.
Oh, there's
but I do
dialogue.
recommend
There's
you
gonna be
use the
something if we don't.
teleport button to go back to the top. Maybe do it on the sooner rather than later spectrum of things.
No, I mean, if it's infinite, we're chilling, bro. This is fine.
Okay, Stanley. I don't know quite how to say this tactfully, but it's possible that I slightly exaggerated the
there
infinite
it is.
nature of the hole. Is it a very, very deep hole? To be certain it is. It's an extremely deep hole. I don't want anyone to say that it isn't an astonishingly deep hole. It is. Is it infinite? Well, that sort of depends on your definition of infinity. From one perspective, The infinite is merely philosophical in nature. It's more of a... Okay, well, good for you. You found the bottom of the hole. You found me out, Stanley. I'm a liar and a cheat, and you're so clever. Look, I think the issue here is just that you're unusually fascinated by falling. What normal person actually wants to fall infinitely? I figured the hole was as deep as anyone would actually need. Don't you put this on me. Maybe you're the problem.
Well, that is pretty high.
Look,
That was a
things
very
got a
small,
little heated there. I think we
small
both
bead of
said
light
some
up there.
things we didn't mean. Why don't we just put all this behind us and agree to just call the whole mostly infinite? If that works for you,
That was a very
then go
interesting
ahead and press
title.
the teleport button to warp up to the top of the hole and we can move on. I'll just be up here when you're ready.
So does something else happen if we just like sit here for a little bit? Because I feel like they're good at just giving him more lines if something will happen if you don't do what they tell you that they want you to do. But he hasn't said anything for like 15 seconds, so I feel like that's usually a good indicator that there is nothing else to be done here. I feel like they're pretty good about that.
Great. Now, I'm very excited to show you even more of my ideas for the sequel. Oh, for heaven... You see, I was right. The problem is you. The problem is that you like holes too much. Not normal. A normal person.
Don't
Except
do
yet
it
that's an
again.
infinite hole
Same
right
mind,
there. Goes on
Giggity,
forever
same
till the
mind.
end of time. Don't need to see it all, but not you. Oh, no, 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 no. You have a weird sort of... Oh. Did the hole seem even shorter to you this time? I couldn't help but feel like you spent a little less time in there than you did before. I mean, admittedly, I didn't make an infinite hole, but I didn't think it was that not infinite. Well, I suppose once again there's nothing to do here. If you decide you've had enough of the hole, you can hit the teleport button and come join me up above. Had enough? I'm positively thrilled. Gosh, how could I have guessed? You're back in the hole. If this starts to become a thing where... Wow. Okay.
The hole is getting smaller,
I'm
guys.
starting to become extremely certain that the hole is not only not infinite, but that it's growing steadily less and less infinite. I suspect that I'm starting to hit the point where it's no longer feasible to call the hole infinitely deep, even by the lax overall standards for accountability and marketing. What's going on here? Stanley, I have no explanation for the uncertain
Less and
nature
less
of the
infinite.
hole's
I could have
length.
sworn that was
Here,
more of like a
let's try
pass-fail
something.
situation.
Let's pop back up to the top, and we'll see if it gets any shorter. Well, there it is. The shame of my lie has come to haunt me. Not only... How is this still appealing to you? I know you're obsessed with holes, but at this depth, I just can't see this scratching the itch. Oh, who am I to judge? You just do
Amazing.
whatever it is you're here to do and hit the teleport button when you're ready to move on. Is the, teleport button not working?
Guys,
You
it's not
sure?
working.
Well, I mean, I really don't have an explanation. Still nothing? Well, I suppose there is one thing I can do to fix this. I'm out. Goodbye, Stanley. You couldn't bear to be away from the hole, and now
Oh,
you'll
hey,
get more
hey.
time with it than you could ever have asked for.
Well,
It's
that's
a
not fair.
win for everyone. You get to be with the hole, I get to do literally anything else. Take care, Stanley. I hope you and the hole have a wonderful rest of eternity together.
Hey, what the heck? Man, I wish I hadn't... Oh, what is happening? This game is pretty wild. Oh my goodness. Mr. Narrator? Hello? Help? What is happening? This is like Such insanely epic music for why. Press F to change your perspective. Oh. Why am I not holding the bucket? Man, Stanley's really just subdued, huh? G to change your perception. Okay. We're jamming. This is... Oh, this is gonna be a banger right here. If this builds up at all, this is gonna be a banger. What the heck?
My head's stronger. Now you're no longer using
What?
up the space of mine. My head's stronger. Now you're no longer using up the space of mine.
Change yourself.
My head's stronger. Now
Good.
You're no longer
Good. Yeah, we could be a robot now. That's
using
fine.
up the
I'm down.
space of mine. My head's stronger.
Oh, there you go. That's nice.
Stanley!
Oh,
Oh, good, you're awake.
I
It
was
seems
I
you had
was
sort of
changing
dozed
myself,
off
bro.
there, drifting away into
Unbelievable.
dreamland. But we can't have that, Stanley, because this hole is just so darn fascinating that I want you to be wide awake for every second of it. You don't want to miss a single moment. So how about if I just pop in from time to time and wake you up to keep you really, truly focused on the hole? From the looks of things, you and I will have many, many years here in this hole, and I'm looking forward to all of them. Stay alert, Stanley. I'll be back. Toodle pip.
Toodle pip, he said. Toodle pip. Amazing. That was crazy. What are we doing now? Oh, we're out.
Here we are. Go on. Try out some of the new features.
Okay, we did gym. We've done that already. We did collectibles, infinite hole. Is the settings world champion door still locked? Yeah, that hole was mad trippy. That's just the room that it just has like epilogue on the wall, I think. So let's go over here, I guess. And what are you? Oh, this is the exit, okay. Alright, I think we did like everything here.
All right. Have you seen everything you wanted to? Ready
think
to
so.
move on now?
New mug.
So, Stanley,
this?
what do you think? Do you like all of the new features?
All
Yes, I
of
know
them.
it's not exactly clear yet how exactly
Literally
these
all of
features will
them.
come
I
together
love it.
as
No
one
notes.
single coherent video game, but I can feel it in my soul. It's going to work. There's definitely a good game in there somewhere. Say, let's do an experiment. I'll arrange these new features together, and we'll see whether or not it coheres into a meaningful gameplay experience.
As one does.
Okay. Are you ready? Here it is. I give you the Stanley Parable 2. I mean, there's potential here, right? It's sort of... Okay, never mind.
No, that's
Hold
pretty
on.
good.
Let me do a different
That's pretty good.
arrangement. Okay, yes. Yes,
We're gonna
this
try
is
again.
much better. I feel good about this. Here we go. Version 2.
No,
Who am
No,
I kidding, Stanley?
that's a
This
disaster.
isn't a coherent video game at all. It's a lot of gags. And I do very much enjoy creating gags.
There's
but they
just
don't add up
buckets
to
all over the
anything.
place. How much reassurance do we
I wanted
need?
more than anything to create a sequel that would capture all the magic of the first game. I wanted fans to love it. No matter how good these gags are, they won't stand on their own. They would need the structure and the gameplay of the original. Wait, maybe that's it. I can take the original Stanley Parable and simply, well, insert a few of my new features into it. Tastefully, of course. With respect. With care for the vision and integrity of the original game. Would it possibly work? I suppose it could. But it would need a really, really tremendous title screen. A title screen that says with bold and uncompromising conviction, "This is the Stanley Parable 2.
Yeah, it really does just
Let me
come
see
down
if I
to the
can
title
whip something
screen,
up.
doesn't it?
All right, perfect. Go ahead. Take a look.
Oh. Ooh. Oh, I like that piano line. Very strange hallway. This kind of reminds me of like Forest Temple from Legend of Zelda with like the twisted hallway. Seems very similar. This is definitely the Stanley Parable too. Definitely. Oh, a clean loop too. That's not bad at all. Alright, surely there's like more now, right? There's like a pretty big chunk
This
of
is
like,
the
DLC
story
stuff.
of a man named Stanley.
Or do we kind of just like factory reset it?
Stanley worked for
Oh,
a company
the
in a big
balloons and
building
stuff.
where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget.
Oh, this is not an
He had
easy
been
job,
at his
but
desk for nearly an hour when he realized
gotta
that
take,
not
like,
one
the craziest
single
reflex
order
test of all
had
time.
arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office. All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting
That's
room.
so funny that
Perhaps
they
he had
actually
simply
did
missed
like
a memo.
include the balloons and stuff. Oh my gosh, the bucket?
Stanley picked up the bucket.
The bucket's live, guys. The bucket is live.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
So should we just go through the game normally with the bucket? We think that's like a different ending?
Still no one was here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now
All the
more
time,
than ever.
every day, with no
Perhaps his
expectation
boss's
of promotion
office
or
was where he'd
recognition.
find answers.
Good God.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
What is it?
Stepping
2845?
into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight, but Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him?
Guided by
Yes,
the bucket,
this
guys.
is certainly the most logical explanation.
Oh!
You found one of them. One of the miniature Stanley figurines. Remember,
Huge.
no reward for collecting all of these, only the intrinsic pleasure of a job well done. You
Absolutely.
can't buy that sort of happiness, Stanley. God knows I've tried. So, I implore you to savor each and every moment you come across one of these beautiful figurines.
Heck yeah. Amazing. I feel so much more fulfilled as a person.
The elevator raced downward, plummeting towards an unknown fate. It would be all Stanley could do to keep himself together, if not for the bucket. Soothing him, comforting him, reassuring that in this darkest moment of uncertainty, he would be all right. The bucket is here for you, Stanley. Everything will be fine. Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility. The lights rose on an enormous room packed with
We've
television
seen
screens.
this a few times at this
What
point.
horrible secret did this place hold?
I
Stanley and the
am
bucket
curious
both
to
wondered
see
to
if
themselves.
the end does change if you have the bucket, though.
The monitors jumped to life, and Stanley nearly dropped the bucket in shock. Everyone in the office was being videotaped, monitored like guinea pigs. The bucket had never seen anything like this, and it very nearly burst into tears as Stanley cradled it gently, reassuring it that everything would be fine.
Dude, my reassurance bucket can't be crying. I thought that was my job.
Was the bucket under the mind control facility's influence as well?
Yeah, I mean, that's
Had the
what
bucket
it
been
seems
told
like.
to do things it didn't wish to do?
Homie hasn't shut up
What
about the bucket
kinds
since
of
we picked
things
it up.
does a bucket want to do or not want to do in the first place? These questions raced furiously in Stanley's feeble mind. No! He screamed into the bucket. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control. Never! He squeezed the bucket tighter. His one friend in the entire world.
Dang, that's
At
a
this
rough
point,
life right
he
there.
could trust no one except for the bucket. But here was the proof. the heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions, happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he and the bucket would dismantle the controls for good. Two best friends, Stanley and the bucket, up against the world.
Stanley and the bucket.
They high-fived in a really cool way.
That's like my favorite
and the
punk
bucket
rock
made
band.
a sassy comment about taking down the system. Stanley and the bucket waited in blackness. Was it over? Yes, they had done it. Stanley and the bucket had defeated their greatest and darkest enemy, freed themselves from the tyrannical grip of the evil mind control machine. Freedom was now mere moments away. Excitedly, the two of them began to discuss the kind of life they wanted to live once they stepped through this massive door. The bucket wanted to learn to roller skate. Stanley wanted to sneeze in every country on Earth. Both of them wanted to begin watching a movie, any movie, but then stop it halfway through and begin watching it in reverse from the end. True, it was a simple life they envisioned, but it was one they'd lived together, with one another to lean on, to trust, to support, and...
Oh no.
Wait, what was happening? Why had the door stopped? Was Stanley and the bucket not about to be freed? An unbearable silence filled the room, lingering in uncertainty, until finally the truth hit Stanley square in the face. This building did not want the bucket to leave. Even the facility itself recognized the incredible calming presence of the bucket, needed the soothing warmth of the bucket, would go to any lengths not to part with the bucket. No. Stanley can't leave this place, not while he has such a precious bucket in his arms. Not while this building has anything to say about it.
Wow, this thing
Stanley
is basically the
realized
One Ring,
he would
huh?
never again leave this very room. But at least he has the bucket. To be trapped eternally in darkness isn't really so bad, Stanley thought to himself. As long as I have my bucket with me, right? I'll be okay, won't I? Stanley gulped. Very soon now, he was about to find out.
Oh. Okay.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Stanley lifted the bucket into his arms,
Okay.
and a wave of comfort rushed over him.
Okay, so the downstairs ending was like
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly
very
to his
confusing,
chest
right? I
and
wonder how
entered
the bucket
door on his
changes
left.
that. Ooh, good call. Yep. Good call. We should do that. Oh. Wait, this is different. Okay, so this is like the boss's bathroom. Some are both red and blue. I have no idea what that is. And then there's like the storage house, which is probably the one with lots of boxes. And stairs. Okay. Think you know the red and blue? Hi, bud. How you doing? What's up? You need to go potty? Yeah? Okay. Alright, we gotta take a quick break. The dog needs to go outside. Let me throw the BRB on, and then we will be right back with some more of this nonsense. That's it. That's it. We did it. That's it. We just beat it. No hit. Not a single one. Let's go! Holy crap, dude. I was not ready for the back. Let's go, dude. Let's go. Get me out of slow mo. Alright, hold on. Oh snap, I got a Snorlax EX. Huge. I have never had so much luck in one set that I'm having with this Eevee set. I'm dropping my controller. It's fine. Man, if we don't get the run tonight, like, what do I even... Are you kidding me? Nope. Okay, it's back up. But, like, I think once we cut down on a lot of the stupid mistakes... yeah, once we cut down on stupid mistakes, I think that's gonna cut a lot of time. I think it'll probably be closer to like 3.5. Did I have no stamina? I definitely had stamina there. I tapped B and I just didn't go anywhere. Huh. Yo, what is this angling that is happening right now? I hated all of that. Yo. I did not know that. Are you serious? Dude. That was unreal. I'm honestly not even really sure what hit me there. Alright, I'm not falling for this again. What? What was that? Are you kidding? Alright. We got to heal. We didn't die. I shouldn't have said anything. I can't wait to drop like half an inch too far and just die. That's gonna be sick. Alright, well. Wait, who are you summoning? What? Yo, what? I have never. That's insane. What? What? You know what, Vi? That is a very good point. This is Poppy's fault. If Poppy would just play co-op Elden Ring with us, it would be fine. We wouldn't even be here. Alrighty, welcome back everyone. Sorry about that brief pause. The dog decided now is a good time to go outside in addition to eating the dinner that I put out for him like 5 hours ago. Okay. So,
Coming to a staircase,
let's
Stanley
do
and the bucket
this
walked upstairs to the
downstairs
boss's office.
section. Is this is this red and blue, or is? Oh no, this must be the stairs. One,
Another
right?
miniature Stanley figurine. This,
Really?
you know, there really must be a snappier name for these things. What about mini-stands? Stanley figs? Or what about Stanlerines? Yes, I think I
Stanlerines.
like that. Another Stanlerine under your belt.
Excellent.
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours. He might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. He looked down at the bucket in his arms. Am I crazy? He asked the bucket. The bucket returned his gaze, but said nothing at all. That's strange, Stanley thought. Usually the bucket is a source of guidance and wisdom for me in difficult times such as these. He held the bucket close, yet felt none of its familiar reassurance and comfort. And that's when Stanley realized, this isn't my bucket. It's just a normal, everyday bucket. Someone else's bucket, perhaps. How did I end up with someone else's bucket? This is all terribly wrong. Surely no good would come from this. Who knows what sorts of bizarre hallucinations Stanley might experience without the psychologically grounding presence of his bucket. And indeed, now he noticed that the rooms were repeating, which was, of course, very odd. And now he felt himself floating off the ground. Oh, gracious, he exclaimed. Without my bucket, I've gone truly mad. Where is it? I must find it. Far off in the distance now, he heard it, calling to him.
Stanley! Stanley, it's me, the bucket.
Could it truly be? He rushed forward from room to room, passing by
Now
one
there's so
bucket
many
after the
buckets.
next. None of them were his.
How do I know which
None of them were
one's
his
mine?
special bucket.
Come to me, Stanley. Find me.
Well, that
He
one
had to
has-
find the bucket. He had to return to his old friend. It was the only way to truly restore his sanity. And then suddenly, he froze dead in his tracks. He knew where the voice of the bucket had been coming from. The real bucket was inside of him all along. It was
Excuse
incredibly
me?
painful. Stanley doubled over in agony and blacked out.
What the heck?
This is the story of a woman named Mariella.
Does Mariella have a
Mariella
bucket?
woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, picked up her bucket
She
of comfort
does.
and
That's
security,
crazy.
and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town, talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. Right away, she knew what the problem was. This man had no bucket. Of course he'd gone mad, ranting and raving about a narrator describing all of his actions and how everything is predetermined and free will is an illusion and it's all just a video game. It could all have been prevented if only he'd taken his bucket with him. Perhaps he didn't even realize he'd forgotten his bucket at home in the first place. How cruel the world can be, Mariella thought, and she hugged her own bucket even tighter. But of course, she had no time for this. There were a myriad of confusing problems she would soon have to confront at work, for which her bucket would provide absolute guidance and total clarity on everything. Heck yes, she thought to herself, my life kicks ass. And she backflipped all the way to work.
Amazing. Quite frankly, amazing. Okay. So let's do like true ending.
All of his co-workers were gone.
Without the
What could
bucket.
it mean?
And I
Stanley
think
decided
there's,
to
like,
go
a
to the meeting
couple
room.
of-
Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
There's a couple of figurines to be gotten on the way.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Alright, no comment that we haven't gotten the bucket. Stanlerines, you're so right, Pelicans. That's my bad. How you doing, dude? Hope you're well.
Oh no, no, not again. I won't be part of this. I'm not going to encourage you. I'm not going to say anything at all. I'm just going to be patient and wait for you to finish whatever it is you enjoy doing so much in this room. Please take your time.
Huh? There must be like extensive dialogue in the closet from base game that like we missed or something. Unless this was like triggered because we were like in the hole for so long. Is that truly it? It might be. Interesting.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Okay, so there should be one in here. Nice.
Okay, I'm going back to the name of these little Stanley figurines, and now I'm torn between Stanlerines and Figlies. What do you think, Stanley? What name better encapsulates the
chillin',
intrinsic
Pelicans.
sense
We
of happiness
are
that you
chillin'.
get from seeing a small number in the corner of your screen go up by 1? Let me sit on it. I'm sure it will come to me.
Just doing some vibing. Taking a week off from Elden Ring before we start our long list of Elden Ring runs that I'd like to attempt to get done this year. Oh, this is different. Why is this man pointing a gun at a panda? Does that say business strategy? It does. That's kind of insane. We have not been able to open this historically, so this is a brand new room. It's like some Wii Shop music or something. Excellent. Is the narrator singing? This last. That's it. That's the entire thing. You can go in that elevator and listen to the narrator, like hum to the music. Okay. Sure. Sure.
Okay, I think we all know the drill by now. Blah, blah, blah. Dark secrets, the keypad. Stanley pushes some buttons. Oh, hey, look, it's a new passageway. Quelle surprise.
Alrighty then. Okay, so let's... Do we just do the normal ending? Like, is that the fast way to do this?
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility. The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out? Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen. And Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom
I would like
meant
to read
nothing.
what that says.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No, he refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never! It was unthinkable, wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof, the heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions, happy or sad or content.
Yeah, they didn't
Walking,
really seem to
eating,
comment on the
working,
fact that we didn't pick
all
up
of
the
it
button.
monitored and commanded from this very place.
I thought for sure
And as
they
the
would.
cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty.
Oh, maybe? Maybe this is different?
Was it over? Yes! He had won! He had defeated the machine! Unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him. For it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his.
This does feel like it's
And
like a
that was
little bit
all
different.
he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door. Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy. The meeting room. Yes, that's where everyone would be. Stanley just needed to get to the meeting room, and from then on, he would never be alone ever again. The confusion and the
So we need the
chaos
bucket.
all seemed to melt away as Stanley embraced the bucket. Stanley
Go ahead
clutched the
and
bucket
hang
tightly
right.
to his chest.
'Cause I
This was
think
not
one
the
of
correct
the
way to the
stand
meeting
marines
room.
is supposed to be
But
in
Stanley had felt the
the
bucket calling to him,
warehouse, right?
telling him that the
Vaguely,
employee
yeah.
lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was this better than the meeting room? Yes, Stanley thought to himself. Yes, perhaps it truly was. How insightful the bucket turned out to be.
I'm not sure I know where, like, the blue and red one is.
No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
No,
Said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go there. Go to the cargo lift.
Oh, look at that.
You're getting close now, Stanley.
Score?
You've nearly gotten all of the Figler and Marines. Very soon, you'll collect
Figler
the
and
last one.
Marines.
And then the first number will equal the second number, and that will be it. We'll be different people by then. Different in the sense that we used to have none of them. And now we have them all. You can't go back to when you had no Figler and Marines. None of us can.
Okay. Oh, what's this?
Okay, this is day number 295, tape number... I don't even know. I've lost track. Nothing feels real anymore.
What even is this?
The longer I study this bucket, the less sense anything makes. The sheer euphoria I feel every time I pick it up. No matter how many times I've done it, it's always the same feeling. And the emptiness in my chest when I set it down, it doesn't make sense. There's no explanation for it. I still haven't figured out why I see the world so differently when this bucket is in my arms. Why everything feels so... What do I do with this treasure? I can...
You gotta lay down, but
I can monetize it.
down. I'm busy right now.
Yes.
Oh,
It's
we're gonna monetize the
unthinkable
bucket.
the amounts of money people will pay for even just an hour with the bucket. This is my golden ticket. But I have to be careful, because as soon as this gets out, there's going to be a target on my back. Even now, I don't know who might be trying to get... What's that? Who's there?
Otherworldly noises, it's literally just grinding metal. What do you mean? What? Dudes, the bucket is sinister. What the heck was that? Huh?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Alright. Do we take it or do we leave it? I don't even know.
Warmth spread through Stanley's arms. With the bucket in his arms again, he was home. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Okay, so there's one more figurine. Somewhere both red and blue. Red and blue. I feel like so many of these have been like so obvious and straightforward. That's true. They're kind of just everywhere though, aren't they? Or am I crazy?
Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
Like this is red, I guess. Right? Hey, what are you doing? Don't scratch at my computer, you animal. There you go. Do that. We haven't seen like the new content door for like a really long time either,
Stepping
right?
into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life.
So why does it sound
Crushed
so
by the
windy?
weight of this revelation, Stanley may have broken down into an emotional dumpster fire if not for the soothing presence of the bucket. Even now, in his darkest of hours, did the bucket's warmth and guiding light pierce the dark clouds of confusion and chaos. It would be with him always. But Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
So let's take the bucket through like the escape route and see if that does anything.
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility. Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley and the bucket would both meet a violent death. The door behind them was not shut. Stanley and the bucket still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track. At this point, Stanley and the bucket were knowingly walking forward into a very painful death for each of them.
Like I can think of like a lot of areas in this game that were red, not blue so much. Well, that was blue for a second.
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley and the bucket inched closer to their demise, Stanley reflected on how meaningless the bucket's warmth and comfort had turned out to be. To be sure, it puts the mind and the soul at ease to embrace the bucket, but what use is a sense of ease when you're about to be crushed to death? This is what Stanley thought to himself, and he sort of kicked himself for wasting so much time carrying a bucket everywhere. Farewell, Stanley.
Farewell, Stanley, cried the narrator, as Stanley and the bucket were led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, the bucket's life came to an end, as it was crushed violently to death.
Man, they got this chick to come in and do bucket-specific lines too. That's crazy.
It was a shame, the death of such a magnificent bucket. It's true that all buckets are radiant in their own way, but this one stood above the rest. It was a glorious bucket to behold.
Oh, man.
Can you see how arrogant it was for Stanley to take a bucket like this and to claim it for his own? Can you see the hubris that blinded him? Can you see that the bucket is far more noble than Stanley will ever be in his short life?
$25 buckets. This is for sure significantly more than 25. Catatonic shock for several weeks as a result of the euphoria from exposure to this many buckets at once. I believe it. I believe it. Inferno bucket. No one can control a bucket.
No man can own a bucket, and certainly not a bucket as dazzling to behold as this one. It is man who should kneel before the bucket.
Okay, we're gonna like come back and jump down that. There is another path over here that we should explore first. Presented without commentary, okay. I guess that's it then. This is true, Zorp, this is true. Was there another way to go here? Was that it? I just want to make sure before we attempt to jump into this hole, but I think that is in fact it. Man, like there's red right here, and then there's blue right around this corner. Was it? Oh, right here. Had me wondering. I was like, oh, this could be the last one. Alright, we jump. What the heck? What?
But there is something we can do. Something we can do together, you and I, that will right this terrible wrong. Let Stanley die. Let him be crushed by the machine. Don't reset the game. Don't give him another opportunity to run off with another beautiful bucket. We can save the world's buckets from their treatment as tools and implements if only we let Stanley die together. The bucket shall take its place as ruler, as leader, as commander of a new world, a new vision.
Okay. Oh. And now there's, papers.
Stanley had never seen the office this brightly lit. Was it a sign of something? He hoped it was. He hoped very much that it was.
Oh, and yet there's still the bucket.
Stanley picked up the bucket and smiled. He'd never be alone again, not truly alone, not with the bucket around.
Okay, so you are onto something. These balloons are blue and red. But I also do feel that these things are typically not that well hidden. Doesn't look like there's anything down there. Blue and red. Can't think of anything that is both of those things.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be.
Blue and red.
And here it was. Had the bucket
Like, this
turned
is
out to be
quite
correct?
blue.
Was this better than the meeting room? Yes, Stanley thought
There's
to himself.
no red.
Yes, perhaps it truly was. No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
Blue?
No,
Said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go there. Go to the cargo lift. Good,
Said the bucket.
now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him. It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked.
Oh, we have not done this.
No, stop. Look there on the wall. You see, there's a sign right there. It says, no buckets
buckets.
past this point. Stanley, how could you think it was okay to bring the bucket here? Unless, what if the problem is that you actually don't know what is a bucket and what isn't a bucket? I suppose that would explain a lot about your behavior up to this point. Which, if that's true, well, my goodness, I think we have to do something about it. This misunderstanding could have dire consequences on the entire rest of the game if not addressed quickly and properly. So much of the impact of the story is dependent on your understanding of what is and isn't a bucket. Please, step in here for a moment.
Interesting. Very interesting. Is
Now
this
then,
a bucket?
I'm going to run you through some test scenarios, and you'll tell me whether or not the thing I'm showing you is a bucket. Simple enough, right? This should tell us everything we'll ever need to know about what is or is not a bucket. Okay, let's begin. Item 1. Is this a bucket?
Yeah.
Incorrect. It is a hologram of a bucket, not an actual bucket.
Oh my god.
Item 2. Is this a bucket? Incorrect. It is a 3D printed recreation of a bucket, not an actual bucket.
Wow, we might just be stupid, guys. Yo, what's up, Mr. Bunny Wizard? Hope you're doing well,
Item
dude.
3. Is this a bucket?
Sure.
Correct. This is a bucket.
I wonder if it's the same every time. Wonder if it's no, no, yes. And do you get something special if you guess it correctly?
Item 4. Is this a bucket? Are you hallucinating? This is a tractor. It's an enormous machine that tills the earth. I thought this was a gimmick. How on earth did you manage to screw it up? Absolutely incredible. Let's just move on to the next one.
Alright. I wasn't sure, but I was like, they might try to spin it that you could fill a
Is this a
tractor
bucket?
with water or something. This one's gonna be a
Incorrect.
bucket for some reason.
This is a bucket.
What? No explanation at
Item
all.
6. Is this a bucket? Trick question. Both. Gotcha.
What the heck do you mean, both? What does both mean?
Item... Wait, hold on. I can't find the next one. Let me see. It should be around here somewhere. Yes. Thank you. There's nothing here. Of course it isn't a bucket. We both know full well that nothing isn't a bucket. Wait, when I say nothing isn't a bucket, that makes it sound like I'm saying everything is a bucket, which of course is not true. Unless... Is that what you think? Answer me straight, Stanley. Are you trying to tell me that you believe everything is a bucket?
Absolutely. No questions asked.
You know what? I'm too confused to even sort it out. I've lost all sense of perspective. What is a bucket? What isn't a bucket? Mere moments ago I could answer these questions with confidence. And yet now I'm somewhat adrift. Do any of us know what a bucket is? Am I a bucket? Stanley, I can't keep doing this. I'm losing myself, and myself was all I ever had to begin with.
Life
I'm
be
afraid
like
the
that.
bucket is threatening to tear our relationship apart. I can't have that. I'm sorry. But I'm going to erase all buckets from the game entirely. Okay,
No.
here we go. What happened? Is everything gone? Why did everything disappear? Wait, was everything a bucket? Every single thing in the game was a bucket.
I told
Oh
you.
my God, I had no idea.
Everything's a bucket. I told
Except
you.
me. I'm not a bucket after all. And you, Stanley, you're still here. You're not a bucket either. Oh, this is wonderful news. We're not buckets. Yes, I actually feel much more at ease right now. It's delightful to get some clarity on that issue, but it doesn't change the fact that we haven't got a game. So, tell you what, I'll reset everything and we'll put back all of the buckets, okay? And we'll know that it's all a bucket. But if you run into anyone else, maybe don't mention that. Who knows what that information might do to a person? All right, here we go.
Okay. I would
How
like
wonderful.
to do...
Stanley was alone. Finally. This is great, he thought to himself. This is what I've wanted all along. I got what I wanted. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace. Oh, please. Are you really just doing this for the achievement? Click a door 5 times. Is that all that you think an achievement is worth? No.
There's an
I
achievement?
can't just give these merits away for such little effort. A measly 5 clicks. Now suppose you were to click the door 20 times. I would say that's the kind of effort that warrants recognition. I have to say, I'm still not feeling the satisfaction of witnessing true effort for a noble cause. Perhaps 50 clicks will do it. Yes, almost certainly.
Really?
50 clicks. No, I'm still not feeling it. I want this achievement to have meant something. It has to be a true reward for valiant effort. I want to see some hustle, Stanley. I want to see commitment, a willingness to go all the way, no matter what the cost. Why don't you go put 20 clicks into door number 417?
417? Where's 417?
Oh, great. Now, go click a few times on door 437.
That's gotta be back here, right? 37.
Excellent. I think we're getting somewhere. Now, door 415. Let's give it 10 clicks or so. Now, back to door number 437.
Really? Is this actually an achievement?
Let's see. How about you click on, well, I don't know, the copy machine? All right, back to room 417. I'm really feeling it now. I think we're getting somewhere. Okay, now go climb on employee 419's desk.
How? I don't know how to get up here, actually. Oh.
Yes! This is great! You're putting it all on the line, Stanley. I like that. All right, let's keep it up. Go give me a few clicks on door 416. We've almost got it! Now the copy machine, do that one again!
This dude is going crazy right now.
Finish it off, Stanley! 5 clicks on door 430! Yes! We did it! Oh, wow. That felt amazing.
I did actually get an
you really earned
achievement
it,
for that.
Stanley. Nothing could hold you back. Yes, I'm very proud of how far we've come today. Just think, only a few minutes ago you believed an achievement was worth 5 little clicks. Really now? What were you thinking?
That's actually hilarious. I was just clicking on stuff trying to see if I could get a door to open for the last Stanley or whatever we're calling him now. That is both red and blue.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
That's the last one, right? It's been so long since we've gotten one. I don't even remember at this point. Red and blue. Red and blue, guys. What do we got? Yeah, red room. What? No, no, no. Go back. Go back, you piece of crap. Bottom text. Employee 416.
All of his co-workers were... Wait, no. This isn't the right office, is it? Is this Stanley's office?
416. I'm confused, guys. I have no idea where this thing is. I just legitimately don't.
The good old bucket. Just Stanley and the bucket, off on another thrilling adventure together.
It'd be funny if you could pop those balloons.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Blue and red. I wonder if that's just like the ending.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
Is it like blue when you turn it off, and then it's like red when you if you try to like turn it on and use it for yourself, maybe? This was nothing, right? This was just the dude started singing. That's literally anything.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by... But Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
There's like a lot of red going this way.
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility.
Alright, if this isn't it, we'll probably...
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens.
Almost hit
what
the 4-hour
horrible
mark.
secret did this place
unaware.
hold? Stanley and the bucket both wondered
But
to
I am
themselves.
quite hungry. But we'll do like the quote-unquote evil ending here.
The monitors
Maybe
jumped
that,
to life,
allows
and
us to
Stanley
do
nearly
something.
dropped the bucket in shock. Everyone in the office was being videotaped, monitored like guinea pigs.
Then we'll have to figure out
Bucket
something for
had never
Wednesday
seen
as
anything
well.
like this,
I'm not sure
and
what
it
that's
very
gonna be
nearly
yet.
burst into tears as Stanley cradled it gently, reassuring it that everything would be fine. Was the bucket under the mind control facility's influence as well? Had the bucket been told to do things it didn't wish to do? What kinds of things does a bucket want to do or not want to do in the first place?
Very good
These questions raced furiously in Stanley's feeble mind. No! He screamed into the bucket. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control, never! He squeezed the bucket tighter. His one friend in the entire world. At this point, he could trust no one except for the bucket.
Like this could be like...
But here was the proof. The heart of
Blue
the
and
operation.
red, right?
Controls labeled
Like
with
blue up here and
emotions,
then red down
happy
here.
or sad or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided
Except
that this
there's
machinery
nothing
would
here.
never again exert its terrible power
Man.
over another human life. For he and the bucket would dismantle the controls for good. Two best friends, Stanley and the bucket, up against the world.
Alright, so I guess
They
we just turn this
high-fived
off.
in a really cool
We'll do
way,
the evil
and the
ending.
bucket made
We'll
a sassy
probably just call
comment
it a night
about
there.
taking down the system. But at the last second, the bucket jumped in and pressed the button to turn on the controls. Stanley gasped in horror. Had this been the bucket's plan
Betrayal
all
of the
along?
bucket.
To take over the machine and claim the power for itself? How could the bucket have betrayed him like this? Stanley was prepared to throw the bucket away in disgust when suddenly an image appeared upon the enormous screen. Birds. Silly, silly birds. The control buttons became active again.
What the heck is this?
Stanley flipped through one video of silly birds after another, and then it dawned on him. This wasn't a mind control facility at all. It was a facility for monitoring and surveilling silly birds all over the world.
Amazing.
The mind controls were only a facade to disguise its true intentions. Had the bucket known this all along? Stanley marveled at the metal genius in his hands, the one who had pointed him towards this incredible discovery. Stanley and the bucket never found freedom because they spent the rest of their lives here in this place, flipping through live streams of the silliest birds imaginable. Of all the possible paths his life could have taken, this one was surely the best. And Stanley was happy.
Wow. You know, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I don't think at any point I knew the next thing that was gonna happen. Like that entire time, all of it just caught me off guard. Like the whole time. Every single bit. That was very enjoyable. I had fun. That was good. It was very, very interesting. All right, well, we can go ahead and look and see we have any potential raid targets hanging out tonight. Oh, looks like Fetry's going. Fetry hasn't streamed for a bit. We might end up, yeah, it's actually right over there. I've not gotten to watch any Fetry streams for a hot minute. So that sounds good to me. Fetry does stream, yeah. Not very often, but he does. Yo, what's up, Firecracker? We were just wrapping up. Hope you're doing well, though, dude. But yeah, I appreciate y'all coming out and hanging out. I know this is a lot different from what we typically do, but like I was saying earlier, this is kind of just like a brief interim kind of thing. We're just taking a little bit of a break. Like, honestly, like even Friday, we might be back on Elden Ring. I'm not gonna lie to you. But either Friday or Monday, we'll be back to our regularly scheduled challenge running stuff. So if that's the kind of stuff you're typically looking for, it's not gone. It'll be back soon before you know it. But yeah, I appreciate you guys coming out and hanging out. I will see you Wednesday. Again, I have no idea what we're doing yet, but we'll figure something out for sure. All right. Take care, guys.